Hi, this is Letty. I'm going to perform a moving average for you. Sounds like feats of magic, doesn't it? It involves just, creating a moving average is about showing data over time and estimating how it's going to go. What we're looking at here is the weight of an elephant is recorded from birth until age 1 year old. And so if that elephant was born on January 1st, 2016, weighing 232 pounds, and by the way, that's the average birth weight for an elephant, at the end of the year, you could predict what that elephant was going to weigh. These are recordings, though, and so so I'm actually going to use real weights, and I'm going to show you that how the recordings of weight, even if they fluctuate quite a lot, you can see them over time. And so when we create our moving average, it's actually going to create a chart to show us that too. So I'm going to click on Data Analysis, which opens up the Data Analysis list of tools, and I'm going to select Moving Average and say OK. Well, this dialog box wants some information from us. The first thing it wants is the range of data that we're using. And we're using the weight. It starts in cell B2, and I'm going to hold the Shift key down, tap the End key, and the down cursor arrow key to get to the bottom of the column of data. Now, obviously, I could have just selected it with my mouse, but, mice can slide around when you're selecting a big area like that. The other thing I need to tell it is what kind of an interval I want to see over time. Now, if you choose an interval of 4 and you're measuring every 4 weeks, then what you're talking about is basically a month at a time. You could also decide to see an interval of 12, so that would be about a quarter of a year at a time. And so I'm going to say OK. The interval is going to, wow, did you notice that it popped up really quickly with our chart, since I had the little chart checkbox selected? And so here's what I want to show you. It's actually put in the numbers here in our range. I told it ahead of time what I wanted it to do in terms of where I wanted the output to go, because I was getting ready to do this recording for you and I just wanted to check out what it was going to look like. You would have to tell it in the dialog box, in that data analysis moving averages dialog box, the output range. I already selected C2, and that's where the output should start, in this cell right here. And one of the reasons that it says NA until this cell is that we told it an interval of 12. So it takes the first 12 and averages it here. And, whoops, I better undo that. I'm going to keep that in there. So it takes the first 12 and it averages it in to this cell right here. So what you can see is, if you investigate this cell, is taking the first 12 numbers and giving an average of them. And then it goes 12 more. Basically, it keeps moving down the range. So this is an average of those 12, this is an average of those 12, and it keeps on going till the very bottom. It makes a chart out of that data, and what it shows is 2 lines on the chart, one from this column of data and one from this column of data. So the column of data on the left is reflected in the blue, and the column of data on the right, which is the moving average, is reflected on the red. And what you can see is the blue goes zigzag, 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 up and down, and the red is much smoother, and that's the whole point of a moving average, to even out what's happening so you can see it a little more easily, and that becomes a forecast. Okay, so I think you got the idea, and you'll be looking at some real-life examples and making some of these for yourself.